side with Kaushik and I'm working as a legal intern at Lexis and Company. Today we are going to discuss that what is interpretation of statutes. Firstly, we have to discuss that what is interpretation. It is the process of explaining, expounding, and translating any text or anything in written form. This basically involves an act of discovering the true meaning of the language which has been used in the statutes. Interpretation of statutes is the correct understanding of the law. This process is commonly adopted by the courts for determining the exact intention of the legislature, because the objective is to not only merely to read but also to apply it in a meaningful manner to a suit from case to case. According to Salmon, interpretation is the process by which the court seeks to ascertain the meaning of legislation through the medium of authoritative forms which it is expert. A law interpretation refers to exposing the true sense of the provisions of the statutes and to understand the exact meaning of the words used in any text. Interpretation refers to the linguistic meaning of the legal text. In the case where the simple meaning of the text is to be adopted, then the concept of interpretation is being referred. There are many classification of statutes under the codified statutory law, that is codifying statutes, for example like Hindu Marriage Act and the Hindu Succession Act, and there are some consolidating statutes, that is IPC and CRPC, and declaratory statutes, the kind which does not act of removing doubts, clarifying and improving the law based on the interpretation given by the court. For example, the definition of house property has been replaced or removed or amended under the Income Tax Act, which is amendment of Income Tax Act 1985. Remedial statutes like the maternity benefits and the workmen compensation and the rights for the women who are pregnant, enabling statutes, that is land acquisition and property, law of properties, penal schedule, Indian Penal Code, taxing, Indian income tax laws. There are some amending statutes in the statutes which operate to make changes in the provisions of the enactment to change the original law, for example CRPC. What are the rule of interpretation? The basic rule is that whatever the intention legislature had while making any provision has been expressed to words and those are to be interpreted according to the rules. It is the safest rule of interpretation of statutes. There are some case laws and that is stated in the Makbul Hussain versus State of Bombay. The appellant, a citizen of India, after arriving at the airport did not declare that he was carrying gold with him. During his search was carried on, gold was found in his possession as it was against the notification of the government and was confiscated under section 167.